Never do the dance. Ooh. Hey, okay. That's all. Okay, we keep bringing our chairs. Hi, YouTube.
Hey, y'all.
This is our first video, out here.
It's Dietzer and Deso.
Dietzer and Deso.
So,
We've been told by many to do this.
and then we said no for the longest.
Said no for the longest time. But we're gonna do it. Okay. So, alright. Our first video today is gonna be about middle school story times. I went to a very greasy middle school.
What city?
In Calgary, Alberta. Like, it was maybe the greasiest thing ever. So, I have a couple stories from it. So, I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm doing one.
He's gonna do it, I'm gonna do one. So, my first story time is about my racist 7th grade teacher. Okay, so my 7th grade teacher, we're gonna call him Mr. Gecko, because he looked like one. So Mr. Gecko and I, we fought. We just love to fight, right? All we did is fight. So 7th grade teacher looks like a gecko. Anyways, so he was, okay, so in my school, your teacher would also be like your gym teacher. I don't know, man, it was weird. So in my school, we had 3 levels, and gym was on like the gym was on the 2nd level, and my locker was on the 1st level. Keep that in mind. So I go to my teacher during gym class, and I'm like, Mr. Gecko, can I go get my water bottle? I'm thirsty. And my friend was standing beside me. We'll call her E. So E was standing beside me as I asked him this. And he's like, no, just drink from the water fountain. Like, it's good. It's fine. I'm like, listen, baby. My water bottle is on the 1st floor. Like, it'll be fine. I'll just go 1 flight of stairs down. And he's like, no, drink the water fountain. I'm just like, no, it's gross. And then he's like, it's cleaner than the water in Africa. And I said, I'm like, excuse me, one more what? I'm like, excuse me, what? It's cleaner than the who and where you. So me and my friend E is also black. So we look at each other and we're like, whose man's is this? Mr. Gecko? So then after that, anytime I would see him in the hallways, I'd be like, brown water, brown water, brown water. So then one day, in homeroom time, as I said before, because he's also my homeroom teacher, after everything he would say would be like brown water, wait, did you say water? Brown water? Brown water. And then he got so mad. He got up. He's like, listen, I am not racist. I didn't mean it. And I'm just like, I don't know why you're mad for it. All I did was I just asked a very simple question. So you don't need to conscience. It's just your guilty conscience. Anyways, my middle school was grody. Like, the teachers there weren't trained correctly. Like, seriously. All right.
Okay.
I actually have. Okay, I'm kidding.
So you was really trying to step up. So I went to school in the Saudi of Arabia, which is in Europe. So I went to school in Saudi Arabia. That's like in Asia, the Middle East. It was like a camp and stuff, and so they had to get teachers to come from different countries. Mine was from Seattle. This is my French teacher. So, this witch from Seattle, she was 40 years old, right? And 40, that's supposed to be your prime, like you're looking cute sometimes, like your hair's not quite gray yet, So she was blonde, but with this color.
That doesn't even make sense.
So her hair was looking like a broomstick. Anywho, what am I naming her? Borscht Soup. Yeah. So Borscht Soup was a racist animal, but you know. So I was sitting in the front of class, and some kid had a pen cap. I know those pen caps, like when you blow into them, it sounds like a whistle. So Abdullah LD, he had the pen cap in his mouth, whistle. She looks back, because she's writing on the board. She looks back. She's like, Dee Dee, stop that. And I said, excuse me? And then she just continued. She said, just don't do it again. I said, fine. He kept going. Dee Dee, I told you to stop. That's irritating. I said, Borscht Soup, it's not me. And then she went on a whole spiel on how I have to respect her, blah, 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 blah. You need to respect me, Dee Dee. I'm telling you to stop you. Respect! Nah, nigga, it didn't work. So, she turns around, said last warning. Still blowing the whistle. I look back at this nigga like, wait, are you gonna stop? She turns around. She's like, "Dude, that's it." She picks up my stuff. She comes to my desk, picks up. We're going. Mind you, I'm still sitting in the chair like this. She takes everything, puts my stuff at the door, and says, "You are going to the principal's office." And I said, "First of all, Keith Johnson and I are good friends, but try again." So she took my stuff. It was sitting at the door. I said, "I'm not going anywhere." And I looked at Abdullah and gave him the nicest death stare and said, "You must fess up. You must fess up." He looks at her and he's like, "Yeah, Miss Boschker, it was me." And then she says, "Oh. No apologies were given to me. No apologies. Abdullah was just sent to the library to watch some soccer." Like, so that's the racist animal from hell. Borscht soup. That's her.
We just didn't have any good, like, middle school was not a fun time for anyone. Like, in my school, I can speak personally, literally if you touched somebody's hand, like, if you give them a high five, school will erupt. And
everyone's gonna know.
And we're like, they're like, "Wait, did you just, oh my God, Becky, did you just hold her hand?"
Okay, like,
Becky,
you see her, she was like,
"Becky, did you see, do you see Lisa in the back holding everyone's hand? Damn, she a hoe."
Okay.
Like, that was my school.
She's like giving out free high fives.
Free high fives. She a hoe. Like, that was my school. And I want to go back to my 6th, 7th, 8th grade self and say, why? You did that for what reason?
What's your next story?
Oh, my next story. Okay. My second story is about this teacher. We're going to call her Justin Bieber because she looked like the female version of Justin Bieber. So, this lady already did not like me. So we had a teacher, we'll call him Mr. K. Mr. K was our actual teacher for the year, but then he was a really bad teacher, so we all went to the principal and told him, and we got him kicked out of our class, so then we got a new teacher. And Justin Bieber, my new teacher, who is a female, she was our new teacher. I said new teacher maybe 8 times in that one sentence. Anyways, so the first day that she came to our class, just to, she was gonna start teaching that day, she was taking attendance, and she was like, "Oh my God, hi, oh my God, how are you? She guessed my name, she's like, Desola.
Oh, so she said it right?
No, she knew me, she'd been knowing me. She's like, "Oh, Desola." And I'm like, "Hi, miss. Hi, Justin. What's poppin'? What's good? What it is? What's up?" Anywho, so she really liked Shakespeare. She really, really liked Shakespeare.
I actually like the story.
And, like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Shakespeare. Because it's an old white guy writing stories. I'm sorry if I'm not, like, bowing down at his grave. So one day, we were reading Shakespeare. And she asked us, it was, like, sonnet. It was the famous one where it's like, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" That famous one. And then she asked the whole class. She's like, "Class, like, what do you think of this poem?" And I'm just like, I raise my hand politely. I'm doing all of this so politely. I raise my hand. And I'm just like, I don't really like Shakespeare. I think it's kind of boring, honestly. She adjusts herself in her chair. She goes, "Did you go to university to study Shakespeare? You don't know Shakespeare. You can have no opinion on Shakespeare. You know why? Because you didn't go to university to study Shakespeare. You don't even know Shakespeare. You know 2 poems from Shakespeare. You can't say that. You can't say that." I'm just like, and our whole class at this moment is dead silent.
What are you supposed to say?
Dead silent. She's ripping.
World star.
She's beefing on me, and I'm like, dang, Justin. You asked the question and I answered. But then, that's not it. She goes, my class, in my school, so.
Wait, did you cry?
Not yet. I cried a little, cause tears. Because she really ripped on me, so I cried a little. Anywho, so my class was second last of the day, and she had one more class to teach. So she goes to her next class. And after the end of the day, all the students from that last class come up to me, and they're like, "Desola, what did you do?" I'm like, "What? Like, what do you mean?" They're like, "Justin Bieber told us." And I'm like, told you what? I just had class. She's like, "She told us that you were ignorant and abrasive and this, and this. We're filming.
Wait, you can use my camera.
No! So, back to the story. All the students from that class after mine came up to me and they're like, so what'd you do? I'm just like, I did nothing. So she went to her next class and talked that good shit about me. She called me abrasive, ignorant, and I'm like, dang, you're mad. Why are you mad for? I did nothing actually. You're just hurt. All I did was say I didn't like Shakespeare and you got mad. So the next day in class, I'm like, I feel like I should come at her. So the next day in class, we had that class. That was one of those weird days where we had the class 2 days in a row. So the next day, we were watching this hip hop thing, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, some people think Justin hip hop's like controversial, etc., etc. Like, what do you guys think?" So I raise my hand, and I'm just like, "Well, Justin Bieber, I think that people should have their own opinions, and that no one should call each other ignorant or abrasive
opinions
because they don't like something." And then she's like, Yes, DeSoul. I'm like, yeah, I just told you. Yeah, I did. I just did. What did I just do? That. She dumb. I want her to come. She can come for me. I want her to come for me. Anyways.
Okay. So we were speaking, like you were talking about, like how like in middle school everyone like hears about everything. Everyone thinks everything's like a big deal. You know, you. Wow.
Wow. What did she do?
Crazy.
That. She did that.
So it was like, you know how like in books and like in movies you see people play like 7 Minutes in Heaven or like Truth or Dare or Spin the Bottle, shit like that. So me and like maybe 6 other people.
Is this an orgy?
Oh, no. We were all sitting on a field in the Saudi of Arabia. So like, you know, not much was going on. It was just hot. So we're all sitting in a circle. And then someone spins like a Coke bottle because we don't, you know, there's no glug down there. So spin a Coke bottle. It lands on me and what am I gonna name it? Acid base neutralization. Yeah. Lands on me and acid base neutralization. And like, mind you, acid base neutralization was a fine looking man, like top notch. Okay, cool. But like I hadn't told myself, I'm like, I'm into him. I just kinda saying you cute. So me and acid base neutralization went behind some,
I don't even know this story.
we went behind some utilities thing. Like this, if someone were to shoot at this, it would have exploded immediately and I would have died. Anywho, me and acid base neutralization stand behind the thing. We're like, okay, so what do we do? This was grade 7, like some big things out here. So we're stand up. Okay. So the rules
Wait, we have to step back.
Oh yeah, we have to step back. The rules were you either hug for 20 seconds or give him a kiss on the cheek and then come back.
Hug for
20. Come. So he's like, okay. Just like hug me. Like it's like a real hug. You know? Like a real hug. And like we're just here talking, you know, like 20 seconds.
So gross!
Let go. Then we hear, because you know everyone wants to know what's up. It did like, it's been 20 seconds already. What's going on? People are like running around. So my friend Morgan, she comes and starts running around the corner of this utilities thing. And he's just like, okay, I'm gonna do just give me a nice quick kiss on the cheek. And I'm like, and then we ran back to the circle, and then everyone was like, Didi, what happened? And he was like, Didi, if you told anyone, I was like,
dang!
It's like, okay. Anyway, I still told everyone, and everyone found out, and he was like, you know what, it's fine. At the end, anyway, we like made it all the way to the end of grade 8, where like he was acting like he was acting like a dum-dum, but he was still cute, and so he came back after we all went to boarding school, and he has a girlfriend, like, you know. So him and his girlfriend, like, they done things together, like they.
Wait, is this motorcycle boy?
It's motorcycle boy.
Ah! No.
He's nice looking.
Shut up. Focus.
Anyway, yeah. So he had blocked me when he left for boarding school and when I left boarding school, because he was like, yeah, I don't talk to him anymore. So like, and I was like, honestly, not my business. Like, I'm not about to cry about it. So
actually, wait, I just got a snap. We're supposed to give a shout out to Jude Petrorca, Roll One, best friend. I love him so much. All right, back to the story.
Anywho, hold on. Words were coming out of my mouth. Right. Yeah, so he blocked me. So when he came back in the summer, I was like, listen, like, what's up? And he said, oh, yeah, like, I'm kind of sorry about that, but, like, I'm only unblocking you because I hate everyone else. I was like, okay, special place. Got it. And, like, I should have, like, there were a lot of things that happened throughout that week that I should have seen, like, yeah, things are happening again. But I didn't. I just kind of rolled with the tide. I was, like, texting you and telling you things that were going on, but I was like, nothing. He came over to my house the day it was time for him to leave. And, like, Mom wasn't home. Pops wasn't home. It was just Dee Dee. So, he comes to the door. I'm like, okay, you're gonna stand outside because once my dad rolls up, your ass is dead. Like, you're not about to be in my house. Yeah. So, we just, like, talk at the door for a long time, like, just good things, catching up, like, an hour. And then, I have always wanted to ride his motorcycle. So, like, he took me for a nice ride on the motorcycle, work the neighborhood, buzz, zoom. Come back in the house. My mom calls me, says, Dee Dee, make some rice. So I invite him into the house to make some rice. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? And then, like, we had to add extra salt because it wasn't boiling fast enough or something. He told me that it makes it boil faster. I actually think it's the opposite, but, we were wrong.
Je ne sais pas.
I asked him about his girlfriend, and he was like, yeah, so I cheated on her. And then I was like, oh, did you know? He said, yeah, but, like, I didn't, like, he went through this whole elaborate plan to get her back, and I was like, oh, good for you. And, like, he got her back, it was good. And it was time for him to leave, and, like, you don't really know what to do, you're saying, I'm like, okay, so, I go in for a hug, because that's regular, Friends, buddies? No. And he doesn't move his face. His face is coming straight for mine. I'm like, no. She went, no. Because who's a homewrecker? Not I. No, not I. I mean, like, future things happen where like I do questionable things, right? Mm-hmm. We'll speak about that on a later date. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, like, on this day, today was not the day. So I was like, honestly, yeah, like, good buds, love you. And then he, like, released and still kept speaking to me. And I was like, after this, no, you gotta go home. Have a safe flight. And that was the end of that story because, yeah, he left and we don't speak when he's gone. So, spring break.
I don't know, man. Like, middle school wasn't a fun time for Ed! Someone call me. Someone figure out who... I just want to explain to you how grody my middle school is. Like, okay, so in my school, you could do this thing for lunch if you were in 8th or 9th grade, which was called go off campus, which means, like, you just get food, like McDonald's, Dairy Queen, like, from the places around. So that's if you were in 8th or 9th grade. And I left in 9th grade. So in 8th grade, people would go on dates. And by dates, I mean to the 2 people who wanted to go on it, each person would bring their 4 friends. So you would now have 4 friends and then 2 people. So you now have 10 people going on one date. Now, the 2 people who were originally supposed to go on that date did not speak to each other. Instead, the 4 people they brought would speak to each other. Does that even make sense? And people in my school would date for, like, 36 hours. Like,
and that was a big deal, too.
And that was a big deal.
You done lasted 36.
Like, dang, a whole 36? Like, yeah, I just... Anyway, so that was our first video.
That's it.